Some people watch Bluey for the parenting lessons. We watched it in slow motion and found timeline errors, floating eyeballs, and a possible haunted balloon. First, Bandit the one-eared unicorn. There's a moment in Pirate where Bandit's ears just fuse into one. Instead of 2 dog ears, he suddenly has one weird unicorn horn growing out of his head. And that's not all. His eye disappears, then his fur changes color for no reason. It's like reality broke for a second. If you slow it down, it's even worse. For a few cursed frames, Bandit stops being a dog and becomes some haunted, shape-shifting beast. And then it's all normal again. No one says anything, as if nothing happened. 2. The Vanishing Hand Buffet. While feeding a sheep and sheepdog, Bingo reaches out with some grass, and her hand vanishes. Not behind anything, not hidden, just gone. 1 second it's there, and the next, the sheep seems to eat her entire hand like it's part of the snack. Bingo doesn't notice. She even smiles, like she didn't just lose a limb to a grass-craving demon. The show plays it off, but let's be honest, it's creepy. Either the sheep has magical powers, or the animators briefly forgot that kids aren't supposed to lose body parts on screen. 3. The Tailless Bandit. In the episode Hotel, Bandit spins around on the bed like he's having the time of his life. Then suddenly, no tail. It just disappears. There's no hiding spot, no angle trick. 1 second it's bouncing behind him, and the next, it's erased from existence. A dog with no tail isn't just weird, it's unsettling. He starts to look like a plush toy that's missing a piece. It's such a small detail, but once you notice, it messes with your brain. Where did it go? Did the animators forget it? Or did the bed eat it? 4. Magic tomatoes. In the episode Favorite Thing, Bingo sits with 4 tomatoes on her plate. She throws one right at Bandit's head, direct hit. But when the camera cuts back, there are still 4 tomatoes on the plate. Nothing rolled off, nothing replaced. It's as if the tomato respawned out of thin air. Either Bingo unlocked cheat codes, or someone on the animation team skipped the part where objects stay gone after being thrown. It's a small thing, but it makes you wonder what else in this house magically resets when no one's looking. 5. The case of the flip-flop faucets. In Smoochy Kiss, Bandit makes a quick stop at the sink after an unfortunate bathroom accident. As he washes his foot, something odd happens. The hot and cold taps suddenly switch places. First, the hot tap is on the left, where it should be, but in the next shot, it magically jumps to the right. Unless the house is secretly alive and rearranging its plumbing for fun, this is probably just a mix-up. Still, it's a dangerous one. Imagine reaching for cold water and boiling your foot by accident. That's not a Smoochy Kiss. It's a lawsuit. 6. Muffin's floating eyeball. During the final scene of Baracus and Bumpy, Muffin proudly wears a chef's hat that's clearly too big for her head. It sags over her face, which seems fine, until one frame breaks all laws of anatomy. Her left eye stays under the hat like it should, but her right eye somehow floats above the brim, as if her face stretched in 2 directions at once. The result is strangely disturbing. For a second, Muffin looks like she's possessed or caught between worlds. It's fast, but once you see it, you'll never forget that haunted stare. 7. Disappearing orange. In Tickle Crabs, Bandit grabs some fruit and starts throwing it at Bluey and Bingo in a desperate attempt to escape their tickle ambush. One orange flies through the air and then completely vanishes. It doesn't fall, roll, or bounce. It just disappears between frames like it was swallowed by a black hole. The basket still has fruit, and the kids keep chasing, but that one orange is never seen again. Either it achieved enlightenment mid-throw, or the animators accidentally erased it. Whatever the reason, that fruit left the scene like it owed someone money. 8. Mackenzie's head recolors. In The Creek, Mackenzie shows up with his usual look, a black head with a little white patch. But something strange starts happening. In one scene, the white spot just vanishes, leaving his head completely black. Then later, his head turns half black and half white like some kind of cartoon yin-yang symbol. It changes so quickly you might think it's part of the story, but it's not. No one says a word. It's just Mackenzie's fur having an identity crisis. At this point, he might be the only Bluey character whose head is controlled by a broken mood ring or a confused color filter. 9. Psychic balloon. In Mum's School, Bluey gets ready to kick a yellow balloon, but something strange happens. Before her foot even touches it, the balloon drifts away like it already knew what was coming. There's no wind, no bump, no explanation. Just a balloon with what seems like psychic powers. It's almost like it thought, nope, not today, and made a run for it. Realistically, the animation just moved it too early, but the moment feels oddly alive. For a split second, you believe the balloon has instincts. Maybe it's scary. Maybe it's a Jedi. Either way, it definitely wasn't ready to be kicked. 10. Fork through the jaw. In Butterflies, Bandit ends up getting tackled by Bluey, Bingo, and Judo in a full-force puppy pile. It's chaos, but for one brief frame, things go from silly to strange. His arm somehow passes through his own cheek like he's made of jelly. His face stretches, his eyes shift, and for a second, he stops looking like a dog and starts looking like a forgotten Picasso sketch. It happens fast, and if you blink, you'll miss it. But if you pause at the right moment, it's hard to unsee. Bandit looks less like a dad and more like a cartoon ghost melting under the pressure of parenting. 11th, lipstick switcheroo. In the TV shop, Winton's mom is checking out a store shelf lined with lipsticks. At first, all 3 lipsticks are the same soft pink color, neatly arranged and untouched. But in the very next shot, something odd appears. One of them has suddenly turned red. No one grabbed it, no one swapped it, and no magical makeup fairy flew in to change it. It just decided to be different. Maybe it was always red and pretending to fit in. Or maybe the animators got distracted and forgot what color they picked 5 seconds ago. It's a tiny mistake, but once you spot it, the illusion of perfect animation cracks just a little. That lipstick betrayed its own palette. 12th photo teleports. In the episode Phones, there's a blink and you'll miss it kind of moment that's oddly spooky. As Bluey and Bingo head downstairs, we see a blank wall under the clock. Nothing unusual, but just seconds later, that same wall now has a framed photo hanging right there like it had always been there. No one hung it up. No sound, no movement. It simply appears out of nowhere. Either someone is hanging family photos at lightning speed, or this house has portals that spit out wall art at random. It's such a small detail, but once you notice it, it feels weirdly supernatural. Like the house itself is alive and decorating when no one's looking. Haunted? Maybe. Stylish? Definitely. 13th Chili's missing mark. In the zoo, there's a quick moment that feels small, but looks strangely unnatural. Chili normally has a pale stripe between her eyes, a simple little detail that gives her face its familiar look. But for just a few frames, that stripe disappears. Completely. Her face turns into a flat orange surface, like someone wiped it clean with an eraser. It's easy to miss, but if you catch it, the effect is oddly unsettling. She doesn't look like herself anymore. For that split second, she resembles an alternate version of Chili, one from a mirror universe where facial markings never existed. It's probably just a coloring mistake, but it makes you feel like you're watching a clone glitch on screen. 14th pillow. Be gone. In Keepy Uppy, Bluey wakes up and hops out of bed, ready for balloon chaos. But something looks off. Her pillow, which is always there in other episodes, has completely vanished. The bed is neatly made, the sheets are fine, but the pillow is just missing like it never existed. No one mentions it, and nothing replaces it. Did Bluey decide pillows were overrated? Did Bingo sneak in and swipe it for one of her mysterious projects? Probably not. Most likely, someone on the animation team just forgot to draw it. It's a tiny mistake, but when you notice it, it feels oddly eerie, like something soft and important has disappeared from the universe, and no one noticed. 15. Bluey's moonwalk. In Mum's School, there's a scene where Bluey runs to kick a balloon, but something strange happens on the rug. Instead of running like a normal dog, she glides across the floor in a smooth, backward-looking slide that feels more like a moonwalk than a run. Her feet don't match the motion. Her body just floats forward like she's dancing through space. It's not meant to be a dance move, but that's exactly what it looks like. The animators probably rushed the frame and hoped no one would notice. But once you catch it, you can't unsee it. For one glorious second, Bluey turns into a 4-legged Michael Jackson. All she's missing is the sparkly glove. 16. The Crayon Conspiracy. In the episode Tradies, the mistakes start coming fast, and they don't stop. Right from the start, the chalk jumps across the screen like it's alive. One shot shows it to Bingo's right, and the next it's magically teleported to her left. Then, there's the drawing. She uses green chalk, but the result is mysteriously blue. The crayon bucket also refuses to rotate with the camera, breaking every rule of perspective like it's glued in space. Chile's foot jumps from one step to another mid-scene, and someone's typing on a laptop that clearly isn't doing anything. Worst of all, a background dog shows up wearing shorts, a cherry tattoo, and the most aggressively drawn mustache in Bluey history. Who approved this guy's design? That's it for today's tour of Bluey's animation blooper reel. But here's a question. If the characters notice these mistakes, do they just pretend everything's normal? Comment your theory and hit subscribe so you don't miss more hidden weirdness.